Is it working or is it not working? Yeah, it's working now. Hi, so good evening to all my Indian students and good morning to American students. So today we are going to do AP Precalculus. We are doing the first practice test report. We had done the no calculator section. That is the 28 questions that are available in the no calculator section. Today we will be doing calculator section and two of the questions that I was not able to explain up to my full potential. So we will be doing all those questions as well. So without further delay, I'll start with it. Yeah. So those were the trigonometry questions. Let me see what were the name of the question, like which question numbers they were. Yeah. First is question number 20, in which I was facing difficulty to explain it, so I will try it one more time. So over here, this graph is given to us, and if you see, it is looking like inverted cosine, right? And if you look at the options, all the options are having the amplitude of 3, right? Midline of -1, and there are two cycles from 0 to 2 pi, so your horizontal dilation is also 2. You just have to identify which function we have to use and what should be the phase shift. So like I told you, this is the graph of inverted cosine. So this is negative cosine. So all the cosine options are thrown out of the window. Option A and option B are gone, because if you do the phase shift, it will not remain cosine, it will become sine. Because by just looking at it, this one is -3 cosine 2x minus 1. Yes, -3 cosine 2x minus 1. Why can I say that? Because if you look at the graph, it is starting like if you can see, the maximum is 2, the minimum is -4. So your amplitude is going to be it's max minus min over 2. So 4 plus 2 over 2, that is 3. So it could be 3 or -3, because at 0 it is starting at, like, we don't have a maxima, we have a minima. That is why it is inverted cosine, because normal cosine graph looks like this. So -1 will look like this. Positive cosine, negative cosine, because you have reflected in the x-axis. And now for midline, it is max plus min over 2. So 2 minus 4 divided by 2, that is -1. That is why you have -1 over here. And if you look from 0 to 2 pi, you are having 1 and 2 cycles. That is why this multiplication factor is 2. So 2 cycles from 0 to 2 pi. That is why this is 2. Now if you look at the options, we already have a cosine. So it is not cosine after phase shift. It is already cosine. So there are phase shift of pi over 4 and pi over 8. So now if you look at the graph, we've done this. So right now it is like this, and if you see, the midline is at pi over 4, because 4 units are pi over 2, so 2 units are pi over 4. So if you shift it to the left by pi over 4, you will get the graph of sine. So left pi over 4 gives sine. That means if you shift this sine function to the right by pi over 4, you will get this function. That is why there is phase. So if you do pi over 4 right from sine, you get your original graph because you're moving the graph to pi over 4, you're getting sine. That means if you shift sine pi over 4 to the right, you will get your graph. That is why phase shift is pi over 4 to the right. And that is why it will be 3 sine 2 times x minus pi over 4 minus 1. Got it? Yeah. Because over here, if you're doing pi over 4 to the right, that means from this graph, you have to do pi over 4 to the left and see if you're getting sine or not. You're getting the sine function, that is why it will be this answer. Because this left means this right. Alright? Because if you move pi over 8 to the left, you're not getting sine or cosine. Cosine is initially, it's inverted cosine. Got it? And if you want to get positive, then you'll have to shift pi over 2 to the left. So it would have been 2 times x minus pi over 2 instead of pi over 4. I hope I have explained this time. Alright, so what we're trying to do, we're trying to okay. So I hope you're able to hear me now properly. Okay, yeah. So you understood? Because this graph is of inverted cosine. If you shift over 4, you're getting sine. If you shift left by pi over 2, then you are going to get your cosine. So that is why shifting left pi over 4, you're getting sine. So if you shift pi over 4 right from sine, you will get this particular graph. That is why it is option C. Got it? And if shift pi over 8, nothing is happening. So all the pi over 8 options are gone out of the window. Okay? Because you are shifting sine graph pi over 4 to the right. If you shift it to the right, you will get this particular graph. Because it should have been at 0, now it is at pi over 4. And now the next question. Yeah, this one, 26th. So this is the polar graph. And the function is 4 times cosine 2 theta. And theta is going from 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So if the domain of f is restricted to 0 to pi over 2, the portion of the graph consists of two pieces. One of the pieces is in quadrant 1 from C to A. From C to A, that is the first graph. So over here also, let me give a second. Yeah. This was, I think, question number 20. And this one is question number 26. Let me check if the previous one was 20 or not. Yeah, it was 20. Here. 4 cosine 2 theta. So now we'll take 0, pi over 4 and pi over 2 as the theta values. So cosine 0 is 1, so this will be 4. Pi over 4 times 2 is pi over 2. So 4 cosine pi over 2, this will be 0. And now this will become 4 cosine pi This had become 4 cosine pi over 2. This was 4 cosine 0. And cosine pi is negative 1, so you will get negative 4. So from pi over 4 to pi over 2, you're going from 0 to negative 4. So this is pi over 4, you are 0 over here. You were 4 at 0, that is why you're going like this. And over here, when the angle is pi over 2, you're going in the opposite direction. So instead of going up, you're going down. So this portion is what is the remaining piece from pi over 4 to pi over 2, because this is negative 4. Because in pi over 2, this will be positive, this will be negative. Okay. So now if you look at the options, it is from E to D in the third quadrant. So the answer is option D. It is option D, from E to D. That's about it about the no calculator section. Now I will be starting with the calculator section questions. So as you can see, there are 28 questions which are being asked in the no calculator section, and no calculator is allowed. You have to do all your calculations by yourself. And now the part B. Over here only 40 minutes will be allotted to you. In the no calculator section, you were given 1 hour and 20 minutes. That is approximately 60 plus 20, 80 minutes. And in those 80 minutes, you have to do 28 questions. So we're getting roughly 2 to 3 minutes to solve a question. Now in calculator section, only 12 questions are there and you get 40 minutes. So 40 divided by 12 is approximately 3 minutes. So you get 3 minutes again to solve each question. And in this question, calculator is allowed to you. Yeah. So you have to use the available space for scratch work. After examining the choices, you have to decide which is the best of the choice. And no credit will be given for anything written in this exam booklet. You have to like fill in the corresponding circle on the answer sheet. And once you start doing these questions, and these questions are numbered from 76 to 87, once you start section B, you will not be able to return to the no calculator section. That is the questions numbered 1 to 28. Okay, so once you finish them, only then go to the part B. Otherwise, do not move to the part B because you will not be able to go back. So the exact numerical value of the correct answer does not always appear among the choices given. When this happens, select from among the choices the number that best approximates the exact numerical value. Unless otherwise specified, domain of a function is the set of all real numbers x. And angle measures are assumed to be in radian, so make sure that your calculator is in radian mode. Okay. So this is the first question. This figure shows a swimming pool filled with water. Okay. There's a pump that is removing water from the pool until the pool is empty. When the pump is running, the rate at which the volume of water in the pool decreases is constant. If rate is constant, that means it is a linear function. Rate is constant means linear function. I think I'll have to do some adjustments. So yeah. So the first thing that when the pump is running, rate at which volume of water decreases is constant. That means it's a decreasing linear function. Decreasing. Because you're taking out the water. Next, during the first 2 hours, The pump works slower than usual due to a broken piece. Okay. So for the first 2 hours, it is working slower. That means the rate is slower than it should be. And after 2 hours, it stops working. So for the first 2 hours, it is having, but then it stops working. If it stops working, no water is being taken out, so the water in the pool remains constant. Hmm. The broken piece is replaced, that will take some time, and the pump works at its usual rate until the pool is completely emptied of water. The entire process of emptying the pool takes 6 hours. Okay, so now it starts working at a faster rate and it takes 6 hours, and this should be 2 hours. Got it? And this rate is lower as compared to this rate. Got it? So this is less negative as compared to this. This is more negative because you're taking more water, and this is less negative. So now this is how our graph should look like, and we'll see which option matches this description. So time in hours is the independent variable, and the volume of water in the pool in gallons is a dependent variable. So now let's look at the options. In the first option, it is taking 10 hours to empty, so option A is wrong. Option B, it is taking 6 hours, and it was working until 2 hours, so option B might work. Option C, it is taking 6 hours. It is working for 2 hours. Okay. Option C. And then in option D, it was working up to 4 hours, so option D is gone. Now our options are option B and option C. So now the thing is, because the piece was broken, so it is going to have a lower negative rate. So it is going to take less water during the first 2 hours, and option B matches the description, because over here we're taking more water from 0 to 2. That means it is working faster, and here it is working slower, so that is not correct. So thinking about everything, option B is the correct answer. Understood? Because rate is lower, so it's less negative, so less amount of water is being drained out. So the answer is option B. Over this, you do not need any calculator. You just need to know that these are linear, because the rate is constant, so these are decreasing linear functions. And from 0 to 2, it is working slower. That means it will be able to take out less amount of water. And from after that, it will be able to take more amount of water once the pipe is repaired. And it is working for 2 hours initially, and then it stops working. So option B and option A and option D are removed on the basis that it should take 6 hours to completely empty, and it should be working for 2 hours before getting broken. In option B and option C, the problem is it is working for 2 hours and then completing in 6 hours, but the problem is from 0 to 2 hours it is taking out more water. That means it is working more efficiently. That is not the case. Now question number 77. Also, as far as I have the information, you are able to use Desmos. So over here also we'll be using Desmos to do the calculations, because that is what you can see on the screen. Okay, so now what is the question? The question is, in a certain simulation, the population of a bacteria colony can be modeled using a geometric sequence. Okay, so geometric sequence is like exponential. Ah, where the first day of the simulation is day 1. The population on day 4 was 4,000 bacteria, and the population on day 8 was 49,000 bacteria. What was the population of the colony on day 6 based on the simulation? So I think I can now, but I'll just refresh it. Yeah. So it's a geometric sequence. And for that, the formula is Gn is equal to G1 R to the power n minus 1. So let me call G1, G4 will be G1 R to the power Q, and G8 will be G1 R to the power 7. So I can say y is equal to a times b to the power x minus 1. This is the equation that we would be using. And 2 points are given to us at day 4. What is happening at day 4? There are 4,000 bacteria. And at day 8, there are 49,000 bacteria. There's one more formula, that is Gn is equal to Gk R to the power n minus k. So if you use that formula, then G8 will be G4 R to the power 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay. But instead of using this, I will directly be using this. And now I'll open Desmos. So just give me a second. So I'll make the table. At 4 it is 4,000. At 8 it is 49,000. And geometric sequence y1 this is the regression. For regression you write y1 because it is y1 over here. And instead of equal to sign we use this tilde sign. And now as I wrote, it is a times r to the power x1 minus 1. Getting the value of r is 1.87083, the value of a is 610.88284. And now you want to find out on 6th day what is happening. So now y, we have to find y on 6th day. So it will be a times r to the power 6 minus 1 will be 5. Answer is 14,000. And this is option C. So the answer is option C. Got it? And let me make it bigger so you can see. Yeah. So a r to the power 5, because on 6th day it will be a r to the power 5 because 6 minus 1 is 5. Getting 14,000. So on that day, the answer is C, option C, 14,000. Got it? And this is question number 77, not 78. So first thing you do this. And the second thing you do is, this will be x1, y1. So in regression, you cannot type y and x. That's a little problem. So you have to type y1. It will be a times r to the power x1 minus 1. R is the common ratio. And from here you will get what is a, you will get what is r. And the third option you want on the sixth day. So y is equal to, now you can write y is equal to a times r to the power 6 minus 1. And the answer getting is 14,000. And that's about it. Moving on to the next question. So by using the regression, because calculator is allowed, so by using the regression modeling, you can directly get the equation. All right. Yeah. And if you're using normal calculator in this, a times r to the power x1 minus 1 will not be available. Then you'll have to do a to the power x1, just, yeah, like that, like exponential. Then instead of doing 6 minus 1, you'll just have to do a r to the power 6. You'll still get 14,000. So over here, if you're just doing x1, then you have to type r to the power 6. You'll still get 14,000. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now moving to the next question, question number 78. Yeah, so the next question is the rate of people entering a subway car on a particular day is modeled by the function r, where r of t is 0.03 t squared minus 0.846 or 0.03 t cubed minus 0.846 t squared plus 6.587 t plus 1.428 for 0 to 20. R of t is measured in people per hour and t is measured in hours since the subway began service for the day. Based on the model, at what value of t does the rate of people entering the subway car change from increasing to decreasing? Okay, so we'll just go on Desmos and we'll graph this equation. The equation is R of t is equal to 0.03 t cubed minus 0.846 t squared plus 6.587 t plus 1.428. So 0.03 t cube minus 0.846 t square plus 6.587 t plus 1.428. Great. And now you can see the graph. And we're going from 0 to 20. So this is the graph, and now the question is asking at what value of t it changes from increasing to decreasing. So it from 0 to, it was increasing before and then it started decreasing. So it is this point. Because you're increasing and then you decrease. And the value of t is 5.50499. 5.50499. So option D, 5.505. That's your answer. Because increasing to decreasing, there's a maxima. So looking for a maxima, that is 5.5049 and approximately that is 5.505. $5.505. Got it? What is suggested? Oh, okay, yeah. Audio stream bitrate. How do I change the audio stream bitrate? I don't know. Yeah, I'm letting go of that thing. Yeah, I've made the volume full. Now coming to the next question, that is question number 79. So this is t is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, m of t is 30, 50, 83, 139, 231. The table gives values of for a function m at selected values of t. Which of the following graphs could represent the data in semi-log plot? Vertical axis is logarithmically scaled. So I'll first see the options where it is vertical axis is logarithmically scaled. So 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, that is not logarithmically scaled because you're just increasing by 50, that is linear scale. Okay. Now you're going from 1 to 10, but your answers are above 10. So option B is already cancelled. Now in option C, you have 1 times 10 is 10, 10 times 10 is 100, 100 times 10 is 1000. So option C is your logarithmically scaled vertical axis, and option D, again you're increasing by 0.5, so that is just linear scale. So option A, B and D are directly gone out of the window, and now we'll just check option C. So at 1 it should be 30. So this is 10, 20, 30. 1 is 30, and now 2 is at 50. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That is also correct. 3 is at 83. So at 3 it is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Yeah, it's approximately 83. And now at 4 it should be 139. So this is 100. This is 200. So it should be between 100 and 200. So 139 here is correct. And 5 is above 200 and it is 231. So it is between 200 and 300. So that is also correct. So option C is the correct answer. Only logarithmically scaled vertical axis. In B, you are only going up to 1 to 10. Numbers are greater than 10. So option C is the correct one. My phone. Just give me a second. I'm just waiting for my video to start. So nowadays, instead of directly using my webcam, I connect it to my mobile phone because it is better. But now I don't know what is the problem. I'm just checking it. Yeah, it is now connected. Sorry about that. So 79 is done. Okay. Yeah. So this is option C. Now the next question is question number 80. So far we have only required calculator for only one question, that was question number 78 and 77. Sorry, two questions required calculator. 76 and 78, they were just common sense questions. 76 and 79. Yeah. Now question number 80, what is it asking? It is asking that at a coastal city, the height of the tide is modeled by the function h of t is equal to 6.3 cosine pi over 60 plus 7.5 for 0 to 12. Based on the model, which of the following is true? The maximum height. So they're talking about the maximum or the minimum height. So let's graph it. So you have h of t is equal to 6.3 cosine pi over 60. Plus 7.5. And the only thing we will do is we will check if it is in, yeah, it is in radians. So you always have to check the mode, it should be in radians. And now you're going from 0 to 12. Now looking at the graph, maximum is 13.8. So the maximum height of the tire is 13.8 feet, that is correct. The maximum occurs at 6, no. The maximum, as you can see, maximum is occurring at 0 and 12. So option B is not correct. The minimum height of this tide is 1 feet. Minimum is 6 feet. It's not 1 feet. So option C is also wrong. Sorry, it's 1.2 feet. My bad, my bad, my bad. 6 is the time. 6 is the number of hours. So minimum height is 1.2 feet. It is not 1 feet. So that option is also wrong. And then minimum height of the tide occurs at t is equal to 12. No, at t equals 12, we are getting a maximum. So the only correct option is A. So for 80, the answer is option A. Got it? Because maximum is occurring at 0 and 12. So option D is already gone because at t is equal to 12 hours, there's a maximum. And the minimum height, as we saw from the graph, it is 1.2 feet and not 1 feet. Now moving to the next question is question number 81. The function is defined by f of x is equal to a sine b x plus c plus d for constants a, b, c and d in the xy plane The points 2, 2 and 4, 4 represent a minimum value and a maximum value respectively on the graph of f. What are the values of a and d? So like I've told you before, a is your amplitude and amplitude is maximum minus minimum divided by 2. 2, 2, 4, 4. Now 2, 2 is minimum and 4, 4 is maximum. So the minimum value is 2, maximum value is 4. So amplitude is max minus min over 2. So 4 minus 2 over 2, that is 1. 2 over 2 is 1. And they're looking for D. So D is your midline. And formula for D is max plus min over 2. So that is 4 plus 2 over 2, 6 over 2, that is 3. So A should be 1 and D should be 3. A should be 1 and D should be 3, option A. So the answer is option A. Got it? Now question number 82. So here also the function is given to you. S of t is 500,000 over 1 plus 0.4 e to the power kt, where k is constant at if s of 4 is 300,000, what is the value of s of 12? Okay. So S of 4 is 3000, so we'll use that to get the value of k. So now I'm going to the Desmos. And there the equation is equal to 500,000 divided by 1 plus 0.4 e to the power kt. Correct. Now it is given that S of 4 is 300,000, so here I can say 300,000 and T is 4. So K times 4. What is happening? Okay. So I can write 4K. Okay. And those who have been preparing for SAT know that Desmos does not understand K. So I will replace K with X. And now you can see the value of K is how much? 0.12 22242628. So we can say it's approximately 0.128. Okay, because 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130. So 126, 127, 128. So it's approximately 128. I can say that. And now you have to find S of 12. So y is equal to 500,000 divided by 1 plus 0.4 e to the power 0.128 times 12, because you're finding S of 12. It's approximately 174,923. So it's option A because that is the closest one, 175,325. I am not understanding what is the issue, why it is audio stream's current bit rate. How do I change that? I have no idea how to do that. Are you able to like listen to me carefully, like properly? Because I don't know what does it mean. Anyways, so it's approximately 175,325. So option is A. That's one of the option, but you saw that I was having trouble in finding the value by just doing this. So I have one more trump card where you can get the exact value. How we can do that, I will show it to you now. So now there's 1 point given to you. We'll make the table. So we know that S of 4 is 300,000. And the function is y1 instead of s, I will write y1. And that is 500,000 divided by 1 plus 0.4 e to the power kt. And if you want t over here, you write t over here. And you write s over here. That also you can do. So you will just write s over here. So you're getting the value of k 0.127706, and that is more appropriate answer. So now we got the value of k 0.127706. Now we will just use s is equal to, or let's say y is equal to 500,000 divided by 1 plus 0.4 e to the power 12k, because we want to find for 12. And the answer is 175,324, and here you're getting a proper answer. Got it? See, 175,324.675. So that is 175,325. So here also you can use your regression modeling using Desmos. Alright. If you're using your normal calculator, then what you will have to do, you will have to do a little bit tweaking. So I'll also show you that. So this is question number 82. So S of t is equal to 500,000 over 1 plus e to the power 0.4 e to the power kt. Now S of 4 is 300,000. So what you will do, you will put 300,000 over here is equal to 500,000 1 plus 0.4 e to the power 4k. Cross multiply, like multiply this entire thing over there. So this would become 300,000 1 plus 0.4 e to the power 4k is equal to 500,000 divided by 300,000 on both sides. So there's one shortcut, you can just switch them up. So 1 plus 0.4 e to the power 4k is equal to 5 over 3 minus 1 minus 1. 0.4 e to the power 4k is equal to 2/3 divided by 0.4 divided by 0.4. So e to the power 4k is equal to 2 divided by 1.2. And now you take ln, 4k will be ln of 2 over 1.2 divided by 4 divided by 4. So k is ln 2 over 1.2 divided by 4. And now using calculator, you can get the value of k. this is if you're not using Desmos and you're using a normal calculator, then you'll have to simplify. For k, it is ln 2 over 1.2 over 4. So ln 2 divided by 1.2 whole divided by 4. So getting 0.1277, that also we were getting from the regression. And you can store it in k. And again, you just have to do the same thing. So it's 500,000 divided by 1 plus 0.4 e to the power 12 times 0.127706, getting 175,325. So I've told you various methods through which you can do this. All right. So in a nutshell, the answer is option A. Now we'll move to the next option. This is the entire work that we have done. But you can use Desmos modeling if Desmos is allowed, and I'm pretty sure, 99% sure that Desmos is allowed. Now question number 83. Now I'll refresh it. So the two function models K and M are constructed to represent the sales of a product at a group of grocery stores. Both K of T and M of T represent the sales of the product in thousands of units after T weeks for T greater than or equal to 2. If K of T is equal to 14 minus 2.885 ln T and M of T is equal to negative T plus 14, what is the first time T that sales predicted by the logarithmic model will be 0.1 thousand units more than the sales predicted by the linear model? So sales predicted by the logarithmic model is K of T. And the sales is in 1000. So whatever answer is in thousands. And it is 0.1 thousand units more than. So it's 0.1 more than, because thousands were already taken into account. 0.1 more than the linear, that is M of T. Correct. And now what is K of T? K of T is 14 minus 2.885 ln T. Is equal to 0.1, and ln T is negative T plus 14. So 14 minus T. This is the equation. They both are equal to each other, and what they're asking, what is the first time T, then it will happen. So now we'll just use Desmos and type it in. So 14 minus 2.885 ln T. Instead of T, I will write X. Now the next was 0.1 plus 14 minus T. Instead of T, I will write X. Now you can see this is the graph. Correct, I've made two different graphs so that and now we'll see what is the point of intersection. So this is the first time then that they are intersecting with each other. It is 1.80, but we have seen that t has to be greater than or equal to 2. So it's over here 4.3244. So the answer is 4.324, option B. 1.8 is not acceptable. Why? Because it's given in the question that t has to be greater than or equal to 2. So 4.324 is your answer. The other way that you could have done is you could have just made it equal to this. But when you do this, you will not get the correct, like exact answer. You can get just an approximate answer. You can see it's less than 2, we will discard. It's greater than 4. So your option C, D, and A are discarded because it is slightly greater than 4 but less than 6. So only option B. Okay, so we can make them equal to each other in just one go. But you will not be able to get the exact answer like we were able to do it before. But if you do it like this, then you can see the exact answer. Understood? So 4.324, option B is your answer. Now the next question is question number 84. The function f is given by f of x 2 sine 4x plus cosine 2x. Using the period of f, which of the following is the number of complete cycles of the graph of f in the xy plane on the interval 0 to 1000? Let me graph it. So we have 2 sine 4x plus cosine 2x. This is the period 3.49365 minus, yes, so I can write 49365 minus 0.35206. 3.14159, that is approximately pi. So the period is pi. Okay. Because for sine 4x, the period is 2 pi over 4, that is pi over 2, and for cosine 2x, it is pi. So overall period is pi. And if you want, you can do it like this. So this is at 0. This is pi over, this is pi over 8, pi over 4, pi over. And this is 5 pi over 4. And let me write x is equal to pi. Yeah. So the period is pi. Okay. So using this, we have seen that the period is pi. So how many cycles? It will be 1000 divided by pi because you have to find out from 0 to 1000 how many cycles are there. So from 0 to pi there is 1 cycle, pi to 2 pi there are 2 cycles. So basically we have to do 1000 divided by pi. Answer is 318. So 318 cycles, option B. Okay. And how can you solve it manually? You have to sine 4x plus cosine 2x. From here, your period is always 2 pi over b, and b is whatever you're multiplying x with. So from here, period is 2 pi over 4, that is pi over 2, and from here, period is 2 pi over 2, that is pi. So pi over 2 pi, that means overall period is pi. Okay. And now from 0 to 1000, you want to know how many cycles. So cycles is equal to 1000 divided by periods because you want to find out in 1000. So 1000 divided by pi is 318. And this is the overall calculation. Next is question number 85. Am I not audible at all? Because they are saying current bit rate is lower than recommended rate. Hello, hello. And now my cat is here. Sit. I hope she sits here. And now she's licking herself. I don't know what should I change so that I have no idea. Wow. Audio stream rate. Now it is saying it's healthy. I have no idea. Okay. Now question number 85. So this is the graph. And this is a graph of the piecewise linear function. G is inverse function of f. Okay. And you have to find what is the maximum value of G. So now remember what is domain of f will become the range of G. So what we are looking for the maximum x value in f. If you want maximum y value in G. So max value of G is max y value of G. G is inverse of x, inverse of f. So that means we're looking for max y value of f. Sorry, max x value of f. My bad. Because if the point is x comma y here, in f it will become y comma x. So we're looking for the maximum x coordinate. So maximum x coordinate is 5, so the answer is 5. Option C. Okay, so it is option C. And this is 5, so this is 5, so this is 5, and that is option C. If you're still not convinced, then let's see. In F, you're having the points 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, and 5, 7. G is its inverse, so you will swap x and y. So this will be 0, 0, this will be 1, 1, this will be 2, 2, this will be 3, 3, this will be 5, 4, this will be 7, 5. So the maximum y value is 5. This is our answer. Alright. Now next question is question number 86. So there are two functions given. F of x is sine of 2.25x plus 0.2. Function g is given by g of x is equal to f of x plus 0.5. What are the zeros of g on the interval 0 to pi? Okay, so for this we'll be using Desmos. First f of x will be sine 2.25x plus 0.2. And now g of x is f of x plus 0.5. So this is the graph. Now what are the zeros of g on the interval 0 to pi? So this is from 0 to pi, 1.54 and 2.47. These are the zeros. 1.54 and 2.47, option C. Got it? If you want, I can make the graph bigger and you can see it here. Here. So now you can see it exactly from 0 to pi. Hmm. Yes. And zeros where it is crossing x-axis. So these are the only 2 points, 1.54 and 2.47. So those are your answers. Option C. that's about it. Now the next question is question number 87. A large wheel of radius 2 feet is rotated at a constant rate. The figure provides a representation of the wheel in the xy plane where the direction of rotation indicated. At time t is equal to 0 minutes, the wheel begins to rotate. Point P on the wheel is at the start position in the figure. At time t is equal to 20 minutes, 120 rotations of the wheel have been completed and P is in the same position as it was at time t is equal to 0. A sinusoidal function is used to model the y-coordinate of the position of P as a function of time. Which of the following is appropriate model? So over here, if you see, all of them are having an amplitude of 2 because the radius is 2 feet. So we do not need to care about that. And all of them are sine functions, so that is also done. Midline is 0 for all of them, that is also done. We only need to find the period because in all the options, only period or the value of B is changing. Now, what is the question saying about the period? It's talking about number of cycles. So T is equal to 20 minutes, you're doing 120 rotations. So question number 287. And one rotation means one cycle. So 120 rotations means 20 minutes. And one rotation means 20 over 120 minutes. That is 1/6 of a minute. Got it? And now, so your period is 1/6. And we know that it is equal to 2 pi over B, where B is the multiplicative factor of x. And that is what we have to find out. So cross multiply B will be 12 pi. So it should be sine 12 pi t. And there's only one option that satisfies this, option D. So the answer is option D. Because the value of B is 12 pi. And the function is A sine bt. A is 2 because that is there in all the questions. And to find B, we are using this particular thing. Yeah, that is it. This section is done. You can check your answers, and over your answers are also given. For the first section and for the second section. So now what I will do, I will show it to you so that you can check the answers. You're able to see from 1 to 14. Yeah, now these are from 15 to 28. And now rest of the question 76 to 87. Okay, so you can check your answers here as well. And yeah, and I'll also provide the link from where I got this test. It was on Reddit. So I'll also provide that link in the description box so that you can see the question paper, you can see the answers, and so to see the solutions, you can always go through this video. So in first video, we talked about the non-calculator section. In this video, we talked about the calculator section. So yeah, that is it. We're done. We have covered the first practice test, the first MCQ practice test provided by the College Board. There are two more. Second one I have on script. Third one I've not been able to get the access to. So if you get the access to it, and if any of you have the third practice test and second practice test in PDF format, please do contact me. You can DM me on Instagram, or you can write in the comments that you have it. So please provide to me so that I can make those solutions as well. Thank you so much whoever been watching, and if you like my videos, please do like, share and subscribe, because we are only 40 subscribers away from getting 500. Please do that. It'll be a lot of help. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. And also let me know in the comments what else you want me to do. Right now I'm just doing sample papers of AP Precalculus. If you want me to cover a certain topic, I'll also do that. So please let me know if you want me to do it. Thank you so much. Yeah, bye.